Hi guys, and welcome to Indie Blast. Today, we will be reviewing Lost Nova by John Nielsen, the very same guy who contributed to the artwork for Forger. Lost Nova was released on the 11th of May. So without further ado, let's get straight into it. But first, if you would like to support my work, then please subscribe, like, comment and share. Lost Nova is a casual adventure and exploration game involving a whole load of resource collecting. This will be your main goal in the game. Forced to land her spaceship on a mysterious planet, our protagonist Mia is left with a broken wreck of a machine. If she ever wants to get off the planet, she will need to repair her ship by acquiring 4 main parts and employ an engineer to install them. The local currency on the planet is called cores, and Mia will need to find ways of obtaining enough of them to fulfill her goals. So, what does Mia do to get this money? Let's take a look. First of all, there are no magic money trees, but there are the occasional lumps of core lying around which when broken will spew out cores. Unfortunately, these are few and far between, and mostly Mia will need to rely on collecting natural resources, or glems, and converting them into cores using her glem converter. There are 5 areas for Mia to explore. The Painted Desert, Room Woods, Shatter Zone, Sky Plains, Coral Ocean, and the hub of the planet, the town center. Each area contains different types of natural resource which she can harvest. Using her blaster, she can collect as many as there are available. She has a bottomless bag and happily blasts away to her heart's content without worrying about lugging it all the way back to town when she's full. Personally, I like the fact that the gal has muscles and she can handle her resource. There's nothing worse than your inventory filling up and you having to empty it before you can harvest again. Lost Nova is very forgiving in this sense. It's very casual, and nothing is complicated in this game. Saying that, there are some limitations put on things. For example, your blaster will run out of juice pretty quickly to begin with. As you progress in the game, however, you'll be able to acquire more batteries by either buying them in the shop, completing puzzles, or obtaining them from vendors. As you add more batteries, you'll be able to blast for longer without stopping. When using the blaster, the battery drains, but as long as you don't overcook it and let the battery drain completely, you can stop blasting and it will quickly recover. If you do get trigger happy, and the battery does deplete, then you will need to wait for it to cool down before using it again. Larger objects require longer bouts of the blaster to break, whilst smaller objects break immediately. Once Mia has collected her resources, she can take them back to the city center and exchange them for cores. Her spaceship acts as a handy converting tool. It also upgrades her boots, aiding her to run faster, her blaster, letting her blasting become more powerful, and her jumping prowess become less draining on her battery. Of course, upgrading your items costs money. But in doing so, life becomes a lot easier, so it's worth investing in, especially towards the speed walking and blaster power. The town center is where the hub of activity is. Here you will find a mechanic who will repair your ship and sells all sorts of useful things that will aid you in your adventure. Things like glem converters, which multiply the number of cores produced from glems, batteries, which make your blaster work longer, a fishing rod to catch fish, a jetpack to navigate the watery world of Coral Ocean, and a spade to dig for cores. You can also upgrade the town center to make it look prettier, and hire construction workers to go hunting for glems, in exchange for core payment. Of course, you're not alone on this planet, and luckily, everyone is jolly friendly. Various inhabitants can offer you quests or chores to complete, rewarding you with either cores, resources, or even main parts for your ship. These might involve simple tasks like delivering mail to another character, work chores like mining or stoking the furnace, or longer quests that involve multiple facets and character interaction. None of these tasks take very long and are kept quite simple. There is no quest inventory or way of keeping track of these quests, but it never caused me an issue when playing because you never have a lot going on. Other ways you can make money is by using the seed farm. A very basic incubator containing 4 pods where you plant seeds and come back to harvest them. You never have the satisfaction of watching them grow, and you don't have to tend to them. Just obtain the seeds by either buying them or acquiring them from NPCs, plant them, and come back later to smash the pods and gather the bounty. You can then insert the glems into the converter for cash. No modern city would be without a museum, and this unknown planet is no exception. The silly curator has lost all of his artifacts, however, so he enlists your help to find them. This basically involves finding artifact cubes and bringing them back. If you recover all of them, so that his museum is full, he will reward you with cores when you bring more pieces back. There's also a robot in town, and he needs screws and bolts. Around the different zones are toolboxes crammed with them. They are often hidden or in awkward spots, but the robot will reward you handsomely if you can acquire them. To complete the game, you will need to find the 4 main pieces of your ship. The engineer will provide you with clues as to where you need to go to find them. There are some areas that will be blocked to begin with, but will be unlocked as the pieces are found. Parts are almost always rewarded to you after a quest, and these quests are a bit more involved than the small chores you might take on, involving multiple facets or character interaction. These are by far the most interesting quests in the game. The characters are extremely cute and often have some very funny things to say. It's quite endearing to watch them, but I never felt like Mia was making friends as such, but just completing tasks. I guess the emotional attachment didn't resonate with me, and I think this is because all conversations are very brief and there is no character development. I felt like the story took a back seat to the resource collection, and that was a shame. There were glimpses of a decent storyline, and when they did occur, they were presented imaginatively and were entertaining. I just wish there were more of them. Everything is cute and cuddly without much substance, which is fine for what it is, but I think the game definitely appeals to a younger audience without a mature character evolution. Lost Nova is a very simple farming game in essence. There are no complicated formulas or blueprints, and no extensive crafting, building, or quest management. It is all kept incredibly straightforward and therefore again is perfect for either a younger audience, who are perhaps just getting into farming titles with quests and character interaction, or someone who wants a relaxing experience without any complications. I still enjoyed the game, and it will still appeal to adults with its satisfying resource collection, upbeat nature, and cute characters. There is nothing challenging in this game apart from the achievements, but it is a relaxing and uplifting game to play. The game on the whole is quite repetitive in nature, so it will only appeal to those who like collecting resources, as this will be your main objective. I have to mention the jump mechanics, as they are awful using the controller. On certain levels you are required to jump from platform to platform. Movement is controlled by the left stick and the crosshair is controlled by the right stick, with the right trigger initiating the jump. I had so many issues with this setup. Perhaps it was my controller, but it was very fiddly and quite difficult to get the crosshair to stay on the platform. The process became unnecessarily challenging and very frustrating. What is quite special is the soundtrack though, and it is unbelievably catchy and uplifting. You don't always notice it in the background, but it definitely creates a positive vibe and is entertaining to listen to as you're blasting. The visuals are quite appealing too, with their colorful aesthetic and bright bold colors in a cartoon-like fashion. What is nice is that once you have completed the main quest, which took me around 5 hours, you can return to the planet to catch up with the inhabitants and complete any achievements you may have missed. If you are an achievement fanatic, then this will add an extra 4 hours to the game, and does require some grinding, but there are still things to do, like upgrade the town center. Lost Nova is an addictive and entertaining game if you like resource collecting. It doesn't break any new ground, but it's a cute and charming farming game that is addictive and fun if you don't mind repetitive chores. I think there's just about enough variety in the environments, characters, and tasks to keep you interested until the end. It may not appeal to anyone looking for an intricate resource collector and town builder, but if you want a relaxing and uplifting experience, then Lost Nova ticks those boxes. Well, that's it for my very first voiced review. I would be very interested in your comments, and if you enjoyed it I would really appreciate a like and subscription. Thanks, and see you again soon.